It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello out there and welcome to this wonderful episode of Sports Orbit. As it is, today is the 31st of December 2021 and that means it's the last episode for the year. First of all, I want to appreciate all our viewers for being with us all through the year, keeping up to this program. And today, we also have another interesting and exciting package for you. And of course, basically today we'll be looking at what transpired in the world of sports in the year 2021. Basically, we'll do a review of what happened in the world of sports, the highs and lows of sporting moments in Nigeria. And of course, I'm not the only person in the studio, and with me to be discussing all of that is my great colleague and friend here, Salifu Usman. Salifu, welcome and happy to come to the end of the year 2021.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Alpha. Thank God it's Friday, as you normally see, and thank God it's the last day of 2021.
Ending on a Friday in the year.
Last day of 2021. So we give God all the glory for everything. And thanks, just like rightly said, thanks for our viewers for being with us. And we promise that 2022 promise a better package.
All right, we'll be reviewing a couple of events that went down, events that Nigerians and of course sportsmen and women participated in, of course, the National Sports Festival, the Tokyo Olympics, the Paralympics, and of course we'll see what transpired in the world of basketball, in athletics, and of course in football. But first we'll kick off with the National Sports Festival. So the National Sports Festival was the first major event of 2021. And of course, due to COVID and all of that, at a point it seemed like the event was not going to be held. At a point it looked like there was a small battle between the task force on COVID, there was actually a war of words between even the Ministry of Sport, the Edo State government. But somehow, after all this much back and forth, the National Sports Festival eventually held, and of course, Delta emerged as the winners.
Yeah, the 2020 National Sports Festival was supposed to hold last year. Due to COVID, just like rightly said, was moved to this year. And even this year, where it was supposed to hold, it was either is it going to be or not to be. So even some extent, some people are even advocating that it should be cancelled outrightly, since they're going to be another 2022 National Sports Festival. But the Minister of Youth and Sport, particularly the Minister in charge of sport, the person of sport that stood his ground that no, cancelling the sport outrightly will not going to be do Nigeria any good. Particularly that it is also an Olympic year, that they are, even though we are going to have much of the athletes that will participate at the Olympic, participating in the sport festival, it's still also another good ground, another ground that will tell the athletes also to prepare their mind for the game. More in particular that for 2020, remember for 2020, due to the COVID, most of the sporting events were cancelled. They were coming to the 2023 to start cancelling the sport festival. The minister will say, no, they must go ahead with the sport festival. And just like rightly said, it was supposed to hold in January. The task of COVID led by the Secretary of the Government of the Federation say that no, the code is not yet clear that they cannot hold it. We cannot hold it. We get to the February, the minister announced it, before you know, the director, somebody said the task of COVID is another statement that no, sports that are not good. So just like either it's going to be people in now, either it's going to hold or it's not going to hold. So, but all of a sudden, but we got to the grow at the end of the day, they eventually hold. And if you look at it at the festival, whatever the price, whatever or not even midway to the festival, but after the open, after 3 days into midway to the festival, there was another clash between the main organizing committee, which is the Minister of Youth and Sport, and the Edo State government over non-use of funds. When the chairman of the local organizing committee happened to be the deputy governor of the Edo State, Phillips Yaibu, say no, the game can no longer go ahead. So the ministry come and the game was go ahead. So, but luckily for us, and thank God, the president was able to intervene, and then finally the game went ahead. And it was whatever we say, it was a good success. Because for instance, some of our athletes, for example, Nwokosia, let's know Nwokosia, Enoch Adegoke, Ose Brome, they all participated in the game, and Nwokosia in particular did well at the game, and that gives him the moral boost when he went to the Olympics. And for the first time, at the first time in the Olympics, he was able to make it to the semi-final. So, by every standard, by everything we look at it, the 2020 National Sports Event, whatever, held in 2021, in April, was a good success.
All right, moving forward from that and straight into another sporting event, of course, that a lot of Nigerians were interested in for various reasons. Of course, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. A lot of Nigerians had looked forward to the coming of 2020 Olympics, and lo and behold, in spite of many postponements, we are all aware this Olympics were supposed to be a 2020 event, but due to COVID, they had to hold this year. And even at that, at a point, it even seemed like it wasn't going to hold at all. But the Olympics eventually held, and of course, without spectators. Of course, you were actually there, and a lot of Nigerians had mixed feelings about these Olympics, But coming from your own perspective, as someone who was on ground to witness a lot of things that went on during the Olympics, will you say that these Olympics, aside from that Japan, in spite of the restrictions, did a good job of hosting? Talking about participation of Nigeria, will you say this was one of our best Olympics? Will you say this was a successful Olympics for Nigeria?
Well, just the 20 Olympic was another game, another Olympic without the spectators. For the first, I don't know, I'm not aware any other Olympic that have been held before without the spectators. For one particular reason, Tokyo Olympic was entirely different new game for the players, for the athletes, and for everything, because athletes today imagine that going to the stadium just all the stadiums and empty, and just like a kudos to Japanese, they put on a marvelous festival despite all the COVID restrictions. The game was successful, and then coming down to the Nigeria participant, either it was a success for the Nigeria, so it was not a success for the Nigeria. Yes, but although for whatever anybody may look at it, when you say it's success, depending where you are looking at it from the perspective you are looking at it from. For instance, even if you say it's success, you look at your previous performance at the Olympic, and you look at your performance at this stage. What do you make a difference, or do you make a step forward? So from that, I would say yes, Tokyo Olympic was a better performance for Team Nigeria compared to our previous edition. Then apart from in the last 13 years, when we went to London compared to London 2020 and the Rio 2016 Olympic. So if you look at the London 2012 and the Rio 2020 Olympic, you see that Japan 2020 Olympic was a far better success for Nigeria. Like the London Olympic, remember we came home without any single medal, and the Rio Olympic we only came with the bronze medal, we came from football. But at this year edition, that's why we're not able, we could not, none of our team go to compete on the we not participate. We still came home with 2 medals, 1 bronze and a silver medal. So if you add a silver, that means the silver is an improvement to our performance at the Rio Olympic. Okay, and at the same time, there's another thing we want to look apart from the medal. There's another thing I want to also look at it. At the Rio Olympic, at the Tokyo Olympic, for the first time in many years, for the first time for 1 year, we participated in wrestling and we were able to win the medal. That is not a medal, just a silver medal. That's why although our expectation, our medal expectation Rio Olympic in the rest come short of what we expected. What we expected to
But
happen.
to me, the silver medal was even good enough.
Good enough, yes.
Good
It
enough.
was also good enough given to less recruited. And you also look at in athletic for many years, our team, Nigeria athlete has made it to the final of the 100-meter race. But at the Tokyo Olympic, we have Nigeria race to the final in the person of Enoch Adegoke. To me, that is also another improvement. And at the same time, in the semi, we have many athletes who made to the final of almost made to the final of many events compared to our previous edition. At the Rio Olympic, we didn't make to any final. At the Rio Olympic, we didn't make to any final. At the London Olympic, we did not make to the final of any event. But at Tokyo Olympic, we made to the final. Almost our seven events we made to the final. Even though we did not win the medal, but we in the final. And for athletic, for instance, for the very first time, we have many athletes at home. We have apart from the we also have the security. So we also made the semi-final. For the first time, made the semi-final. So to me, London Olympic, Tokyo Olympic was a far better compared to our London performance and compared to our Rio performance. So, but somebody will ask, okay, what of the issue that is Canada robbed the Rio Olympic performance? The protest by the athletes.
Failure to do out of competition testing.
Yeah,
The ban of Okagbare.
And then the issue of the person
all
of
of that.
yes. So it's another thing that we want to talk about. Even as you look at it, just for all these things, we still made the medal table at the Rio Olympic. But the ban of the disqualification of 10 athletes due to the out of competition test was a serious one that anybody would not like. But even the Minister of Youth and Sport, I remember vividly when we were in Tokyo, was visibly stopped by that situation. He tried as much as possible to stop the situation, but the time was too late. And at the same time, I believe since we came back from home, and if you wait based on the decision they are taking concerning that issue, so that it's so much demonstrated that it's ready to learn from that mistake, And but the issue that, but particularly what led to that out of corruption, that is what we say. Any house that divided against himself cannot make it success. But the issue, the crisis in athletics does not help matter. It's one of the things that led to that situation. So, but by and large, in summary, I would say Tokyo Olympic was a far better performance compared to our previous performance at the last two editions of the Olympic.
All right, viewers, we still have so much in store for you. We'll come back and still tell you what happened in Paralympics. Of course, the World Athletics Under 20 Championships. We also have what went down in basketball, in football. All this and many more. We'll bring that to you when we come back from this break. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 08036886158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome back from that short break. Still on to Sports Orbit, reaching you from the Leadership Podcast Studio. Before I went on that break, we were on still 2021 Retrospect, Nigerian Sports completely. Of course, we just spoke about the Tokyo Olympic Games. And of course, down the Paralympic Games, a lot of Nigerians said what the able-bodied people could not do perfectly, the disabled ones went there to the Paralympics, and even with the smallest contingent, we still were able to come back with 4 gold, a silver, and 5 bronze medals, a total of 10 medals.
Yeah, the disabled after the parallel has always come to the rescue. Anytime we went to the Olympic and we did not get a better result, they did the 2012 in London Olympic. After we went to came back in Nigeria, they went there and be able to service our image with Nigeria proud. The same thing happened at the Tokyo Olympic, at the Rio Olympic. Most was their best performance so far in the Olympic. They went after we went to the Rio Olympic to get a medal. The disabled athlete went there again and proved that Nigeria is also a country to reckon with. They repeated the same feat at the Tokyo Olympic. So I was not surprised by their performance. However, as they are going, we know for sure that yes, they are going to do Nigeria proud, and they keep to that promise and ensure that yes, Nigeria image was not totally battered, and ensure that despite some of the inadequacies in their preparation, they still were able to manage to get 4 gold medals with a very smaller team. They have the smallest contingent at the Tokyo Olympic, and their performance said the 10 men I know in total, they were able to finish at 31st on the medal table compared to the able athlete. Remember, the able athlete finished 74 on the medal table. They finished 74 on the medal table, while the disabled athlete finished 31st on the medal table and fourth in Africa behind Morocco, Egypt, and Tunisia. So, and with less contingent, they went to the 22 athletes, and out of the 22 athletes, and they came back 10 medals, which was a good performance. Not medal. 4 of those medals are gold medals. So kudos to the para athlete. But one thing we must do quick as we get into the 2020, because if you look at those athletes, most of these they are already aging. So those managers, those in charge of the para federation, thank God that even the Ministry of Youth and Sport have also established the department. Now have a department of para sport. Now have a department of para sport and national sports festival. So that is one of the very good silly decisions that the Ministry of Youth and Sport have taken this year, and they have strongly believe that decision is going to impact positively on the development of sport, particularly in the para sport and the national sports festival. So.
All right, moving on from that to the World Athletics Under 20 Championship, where for the first time since Nigeria started participating in the Under 20 team, Nigeria returned home with 4 gold and 3 bronze medals. Although this was one of the best outings of the Under 20 when it comes to athletics in a long time. And it was good that this performance came shortly just after the Olympics.
After the Rio Olympics, when Nigeria was still worried about the performance, those young guys, those young lads went to the Kenyans in Nairobi and do Nigeria proud. Finished third on the medal table behind Finland finished first, then the host finished second, and then came third. So with a good performance, and that is good, and it also shows that this future of Nigeria, the future is still bright in Nigeria sport, particularly one athlete win 4 gold medals, 3 gold, only have accounted for 3 gold medals in that championship. That is true that the future of Nigerian sport is still, despite the inadequacy of everybody wants to keeping faith with those young lads. There's a future of sport, like the president of the athletic federation structure say that performance is reinforcing that there's hope.
Yeah. I agree with you. And of course, another event that people look forward to that actually held was the National Youth Games. We all know that the National Youth Games is one event that a lot of sports people like sports development look forward to, because that's like a hunting ground for the next generation of athletes. And this year's event was also, in spite of a lot of bottlenecks, but they eventually held in Ilorin.
So we still say kudos to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, because for keeping faith with that the National Youth Sports Festival for 6 years and years. It has come consistently every year, consistently, and we may not see the benefit now, but we strongly hope that in a few years we are going to see the benefit of all those National Youth Games. Guys, kudos again. It's another interesting
into football, well, of course, a lot happened up till the last week of 2021. A lot still happened. Up till today, a lot is still happening. Salifu, if you give a complete general overview of our football in 2021, how will you assess it? The kind of intrigue that happened, not forgetting the sacking of Genatro, the intrigues in the NFF, and all of that, leading to even the AFCON, which is starting a couple of days away now.
Well, I would say, if you're looking at our football in the last 12 months, I would say, well, just a miss, either we say good or bad. But so, but else, I would say for the success, I would say 35%. But any other team, so we are not there. We didn't make a progress at all. Because look at it holistically. For instance, apart from the Super Eagles, yes, Super Eagles for the qualify for African Cup of Nations, no matter how they qualify, they eventually qualify for African Cup of Nations. Remember the Wales already four goal leads to Sierra Leone in Benin,
Right here in Nigeria.
in Benin. So it's quite disheartening. But no matter how happens, we eventually qualify. And at the same time, if you're looking at our World Cup qualifier, although we may not have had a smooth success in participating for that, but despite that, we still make the last final of the qualifier, which is also stepping forward. Good one. And I think another thing that happened in football that I was saying is also a good moment for Nigeria football is the election of Amaju Pinnick as a member of FIFA executive committee. They said I would like it.
But has that election, has he been a member, has benefited Nigerian football?
Yeah, he was elected into football this year. But one thing we want to know that although a lot of people will say that it's more personal glory to Pinnick than all. It's more personal glory to Pinnick than Nigeria. But I still want to beg to disagree that yes, having your own person in the decision making, either we like it or not, you still feel that you are represented in that board. So for the fact that out of 54 African countries, and we only have two members, we have two executives on the FIFA executive, and one of them is from Nigeria. So I would say that we should put those that we have in Nigeria on the FIFA executive committee. That is one, to me, that is one of the positive developments that have in our sport in the last 12 months. Either is benefiting Nigeria or it's more personal than another different body. But the fact that we have in Nigeria on the FIFA executive committee is show that Nigeria is a force to be reckoned for when it comes to football, because we have more decision making in the global football. But at the same time, if you look at our league, was there anything to write home about our league? Or people have said no, there's nothing to write home about our league. Apart from we want to bring what the champion will present from the league winner, and he said the runner-up, and all those who went to represent us in the African Cup of Nations in the continental would not be able to showcase Nigeria. For how many years we're not there? Now African Champions League is still going on. All the Nigerian Aqua United and River United that went to the are already cash out of the competition. Even at the early stage of the competition, the same thing comes to competition of Bayelsa United. Enyiba even trying to go a step further going forward. They are still debating that they are going to fall. They are still debating because their matter is still at the CAF level. But
the CAF draws came out
and
so it means that I doubt we stand the chance.
So it shows that they have lost out of it completely. Although they are still protesting, but the draw have been held and show that they are not there. So if you're looking at it, if you look at it, for Nigeria, for a team like Nigeria, for a country like Nigeria, don't have a single team competing in the CAF Champions League, don't have a single team competing in the CAF Confederation Cup. Why our lights, those who can say we compete with them in football, Egypt have to still have team making to the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Two teams, Egypt, Tunisia have the same team, Nigeria have one club, Libya have a club, Angola even have a two team. So what are we saying? And if you come to Confederation Cup, a country like Niger, Togo, Benin have a club, still participating, but our own representatives have already all crashed out at the tournament. We tell the story of the state of our league, even though those in charge of our league refuse to admit that we are not the league is not anything to write about. So these are some of the things. Look at it for our football. We need a holistic decision to be taken about football, but nothing is happening. And then we come to the decision of the sack of General. Yes, many people say it's a good omen. That yes, finally, Raw after what they have done at football for 6 years, they are finally there. But at the end of the day, the fact the decision that was taken by them, the hiring of Jude, they said was not one who go down to Nigeria. Because if you play by side by based on the CVs and the precedent of the so what they have seen so far, there's nothing to say that okay, if it is Pesero, you would have played somebody who said you would have played the Robbie. And at the same time, if you look at in the women football, Super Falcons didn't do well in their going year. They went to
Dominance the one side in Africa seems to
it seemed to be they seem to wipe away, but already they competed in the Aisha Cup. That Aisha Cup tournament shows that we have a lot to do in the women football. And even when they went to qualify to compete in the Asian tournament in the US, they didn't perform well. They only won 2 matches, draw to that. And so a lot of things in our football is not quite interesting. There's a lot going to 2022. We need to take a holistic decision and we need to do a better still that 2022 present a better opportunity for Nigeria football, for Nigeria to get their football right. For instance, if those present the coming year will be an election year to elect the new executive of Nigeria football. And I think the stakeholders who feel that what we are getting now is not what we deserve to ensure that we have a better people, those who have the better knowledge to manage our football, get to the position. But for me, my personal view, those at the time of our football at the moment are not doing anything to say they deserve to continue.
all right. Away from that, the basketball story is not too quite different from what happened to football, except that in spite of the disappointment of the Tigers and the Tigers at the Olympics, the girls eventually came back to redeem themselves when they went for the African female championship. How will you assess basketball?
Well, basketball,
and of course, not forgetting the crisis in the MBBF.
Yeah, and this is the this is one of the things that is leading to all those inconsistent performances. But if you look at our basketball in their going year, you see, okay, with some able we score some vital points. For this time, for the first time, an African team beat the almighty USA basketball team. To me, that is one of the good moments that have gone into a history book.
Even though it was a friendly.
Yes, it's a friendly, but all you know that he has going to a record that yes, US team lost to Nigeria team in the game of basketball for the first and an African team to be the US team. To me, that's another good moment for our basketball in even though we went to the Olympics and for flash, but that victory against US is a major success for our basketball in their going here. And we went to the Olympics, we could not even win the single match. Both the female team and the female team. But the fact that for the first and African country, for the first time, sometimes we should not look at the result or we should not look at the victory. There's some positive thing we also need to take from it. For the first and an African team, male and female teams represent the Olympics. We're one of the very few from the whole world to have both the male team and the female team at the Olympics. To me, is another kudos to Nigerian basketball. And if you look at either you look at the world globally, will know that the Nigerian in the game of basketball, Nigeria has gradually coming to record with it. That's why we didn't even win the match there. But to me, having our two teams at the Olympics is a major success. And we came back after the Olympics. The Tigers went to Rwanda, although they still fell flat. They couldn't get any result when they came back there. They came back home with nothing. But the girls, in keeping to their faith and keeping to their always who they are, were able to redeem our image, went to Cameroon and win Afro basketball for the third consecutive time. Once we were a big success, although after the victory, where the girls were very disappointed, remember the issue of their Alawi.
Yeah, exactly.
So when Ring Wall it was another big embarrassment to Nigeria football, Nigeria sport generally, and it's one of the things today that have to ensure that even the former president of NBBL, Musa Kida, was at the clash with the Minister of Youth and Sport. Not the Minister of Youth and Sport. Very disappointed that despite all the money that have been approved for you, the girl you promised that and the girls could not be paid. So. And that range on, but at the end of the event, at the end of the Minister of Youth and Sport also intervened and ensured that those girls were paid their money, and even the Tigers were also coming at the windows, and that have shut down the lazy war who was going on social media and everywhere. But one thing that even happened your ambassador who went to represent you outside, and at the end of the day,
not
what
being
is due for them, they are not being paid. It's quite disheartening that we should learn from. I believe that there are those administrations to learn from all these kind of things. Because first and foremost, athletes came first before any other thing. You are a minister because there's an athlete.
Yeah.
You are a president of a basketball federation because there's a player. Because without athlete, without a minister athlete, you can't be a minister of sport. You can't be a chairman of any basketball association or any sport association. So they should always know that those athletes who are the athletes come first. So going into 2022, we should ensure that we avoid some of all these silly mistakes that normally happen.
All right. Before we move shortly, of course, after how many years of being moribund, the MKO Abiola Stadium finally came back to life. At least the main goal. It took. Talon was there, did nothing about it, but he had to take this current minister of sports in his wisdom to bring a partner on private to go into a private partnership to ensure that the main goal of the national stadium is back, so that at least the Super Eagles can have a go. For me, I consider it as a major achievement and high point of sport in Nigeria.
You are very, very, very correct. One of the biggest achievements in sport, Nigerian sport in 2021, and kudos to the current Minister of Youth and Sports Solidarity for ensuring that that stadium came back to life. The last time that the match for playing that stadium was 2011. And after that 2011, we have had the minister, this man, Bolaji Abdullahi. We have had the Tamita Nagogo. We have had the Solomon Dalon, which is the longest serving minister by any standard by now. Maybe the first time he called the present minister, who they also spent another 4 years. If not, that long was the only minister in recent time, I would have, if I'm not mistaken, that spent 4 years.
And there's nothing you can really point out that during his period that this is what he achieved.
The only thing you can point out to Dalon as his major achievement, he was able to hold the election that caused a lot of crisis. Today, the crisis we have in basketball, that Dalon invested in. The crisis we are having in athletic federation, Dalon invested all those crises. So a lot of crises, we mentioned them. Dalon hold the election and caused a lot of crisis in all the basketball, in all the sport federation. That is his major achievement. What is coming to Nigeria sport. And there's some of them, but kudos, I commended the law, news of something. Whatever you may say, for him to come that initiative and adopt a pitch, adopt an athlete, even his decision, we even fail to forget to say, adopt an athlete, you have almost 10 athletes, 12 athletes went to the Olympic Games by a private organization. So adopt a pitch and ensure that would take him adopt the pitch, and for today, to the glory of God, the Musa Abdullah National Stadium is back to life. The pitch is now a playable, and that is produced our development of sport. And by the grace of God, by this year, next year, 2022, we have Lagos Stadium, so Lagos sort of back to life. Also support with this adopted pitch.
Quickly before we go, one other thing that a lot of sports analysts and of course sports journalists were happy about was the 88 billion naira injection into sports. But what people are saying is hope the money will be utilized the way it should be.
Yeah, thank you very much. First and foremost, the reclassification of sport as a business was a big boost to sport development, because sport are always seen as a recreational activities that we all just let people just come and play. And but we refuse to that. Sport is a big business globally. The richest people today are sportsmen. The biggest business booming today is sport. So why can Nigeria just hold this arm and allow sports for educational activities? When a lot of corporate organizations, individuals, government organizations, multinationals are investing and are making a heavy hell of money. Tokyo 2020 Olympics was here because of target organization. Left for the government, that Tokyo Olympics would have cancelled. But because of the investors who have invested their money heavily on the game, ensure that I also ensure that what will happen to the investor if you cancel this game. Investors who invested their money. So because of investors, the Tokyo Olympics went ahead. So that means sport is a big business, and the classification of the sport, to me, that is one of the biggest achievements of the Muhammadu Buhari government. We classify sport as a business, and by that classification, sport is now a member of national development plan. So, and because of that, 88 billion is being invested into sport development. So next 4 years, 88 billion will be released into sport for development of sport. And just like you say, the cry that which when those who definitely people be in charge, those who be in charge should not see it as normal that national cake has come. It's my own time to have my own share of national cake. No, it's for business, and they should be those money should be invested and should be accountable.
All right, we hope that this 88 billion naira boost as we go into a new year from next year, this will begin to see some release of this fund gradually over the next couple of years. So viewers, this is where we'll come to the end of this episode, and incidentally, this is the last episode for the week, last episode for the month, and last episode for the year. Salifo, it's been a pleasure being with you all through this period on Sports Office, and I hope that we'll be in 2022 to bring our viewers even more exciting and entertaining episodes of this wonderful show.
Thank you, Mr. Alpha. I can't really describe my joys and my satisfactions here that God has kept us together. At the end of the day, yes, we will not have met all the demand of the spectators of our viewers, but we have tried and we promise that 2022 will be a better year, better informed, better entertaining, and better informed knowledge when it comes to sport. Remember, 2022 is a lot of sport program. We have the Commonwealth game. We're going to start 2022 with the Africa Cup of Nations. We rest assured that the sport orbit will be there to bring you all the details and all the analysis of the sport.
All right, here, this is where we draw the curtain, and until we come your way again on Monday, which will be the first episode for the year 2022. We say goodbye, stay safe out there, and have a wonderful 2022. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.